I'm your host, James Yoder, here from the Michigan Football Report. Want to invite you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. YouTube.com/Michigan TV. There's a big button right beneath the video. It says subscribe. Just click that. You'll join 17,394 other Michigan football fans. You'll join the largest YouTube channel focusing on Harbaugh's Wolverines. And you see the drinking games tomorrow or Thursday, depending on when you're watching this. Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. We will have our live weekly show for the month of December. It'll be Wednesday or Thursday this week, and towards the end of the show, will do my 6 beers in 15 minutes. If you just want some comedy in your life, want to see a grown man drink 6 beers just for your amusement, this is the place for you. Hit that subscribe button, and you won't miss it. All right, we will talk Michigan football recruiting, coaching news, and more coming up right now. There is a lot going on surrounding Jim Harbaugh's program in the last 3 or 4 days. Frankly, I had so many topics to discuss. I had to actually cut at least half of them for tomorrow's live show. But I kind of think about the topics that most people are interested in right now and have put together 3 storylines for you today. Talking about Ohio State, talking a little about recruiting, and some coaching and recruiting staff movement that you need to know about. But first, it's only one of the 2 storylines, but I saw this circulating the internet in the last couple of days, and if it's too small on the screen, you see right where that player is 85 right there. What does it say, Jack? Iowa Buckeyes, right? Iowa Buckeyes. So this apparently was on the Jumbotron inside of Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis early on in the Michigan versus Iowa game. Iowa Buckeyes. So look, if I was a Michigan player and I looked up that early in the game and I saw that kind of, we're playing the Buckeyes again, made him motivate him, right? Drop 42 again? Who knows, right? I thought it was pretty funny, so I thought I'd show that was on the Jumbotron, like I said, the Big Ten championship game, Michigan Wolverines versus the Iowa Buckeyes. Speaking of the Buckeyes, will be our first topic on today's show. Let's run through what's coming up. Ohio State is just the excuse factory. I found some quotes from our favorite Buckeye that I wanted to tell you guys about, so we'll go over those here in a second. Also, coaching staff rumors and news. One member of the recruiting staff, maybe the most key member, has moved on this weekend. There are buzzing rumors all around that a few Michigan coaching staff members might be getting recruited for coordinator jobs or other jobs around college football, including a couple head coaching roles. And then the post-Bosa recruiting bump. Michigan's been on a little bit of a tear lately, and 1 week till signing day. Are there players still out there that the Wolverines can grab? We'll talk about the most recent 3 recent commitments for the Wolverines. But Big Ten championship gear is going quick. I don't want you guys to miss out before Christmas. If you want to buy this for somebody or send the link to a friend and say, hey, get this for me for a stocking stuffer. A lot of stuff was sold out. It's back in stock, it looks like, in most sizes, but I don't think it's going to last. Get it before Christmas. Get it before the College Football Playoff Championship game. There's all kinds of things on there. Big Ten Championship. There's some College Football Playoff Michigan stuff, and there's some Michigan versus Georgia Orange Bowl CFP gear, shirts, hats, etc. Chatsports.com/champs. Very simple link. Drops you right on the page to buy, and I'll put a link down in the comments and towards the top of the description of this video. Coldridge Stroud, okay? Why do I call him Coldridge? Because I was telling you for weeks that he's never thrown a ball in a weather below 40 degrees in the game. And I thought if Michigan hit him in the cold one time from Southern California, he wouldn't be able to handle it. And I've got 3 quotes for you guys you're just going to love. And first one, asking, well, Coldridge, what happened? Why did you guys lose? What was going on? Everybody kind of having the flu and things like that. Well, what are the things like that? Corona? What are the things like the flu? Coronavirus? Is that what you had? All right, cool. Not testing. Sweet. I'll say, of course. I don't make excuses except for this one. I'm saying except for this one. But you've kind of got to take that into consideration. No, you don't. It kind of does matter. Doesn't matter, all right? I've heard Ohio State fans for a year saying, Michigan ducked Ohio State because of COVID. They made up. I'll tell you what, probably saved some Ohio State players' careers by not passing Corona on to them last year. Next quote from Coldridge, all right? Mama call him Coldridge. I'm calling him Coldridge because he's a shivering kid out there who's never seen freezing weather. It's hard to win on the road, and here's where the Coldridge comes in. And on top of that, it's a rivalry. It's cold. It's snowing. They did a good job. This is actually how he sounded when he said it. Good job on scheming up. When it comes down to it, I gave it my all in the game. I was too cold, and I don't have any regrets. I'm ad-libbing a little bit here, but that's mostly what he said. And the last one. I had to throw this in there, even more from Stroud. And this guy is just a ball of excuses. I just know that when it comes down to playing football, I'll take Ohio State against any team. We lost 2 games, and I don't think neither, that's incorrect English, pal, I don't think either of those teams are better than us, but you got to give them respect. Okay, so he's pulling the we're sick and it was cold and they schemed us, but we're still better, all right? Ohio State University, now rename alert, Ohio Soft University. Those are the kind of excuses Ohio State fans would have just feasted on for a decade had my Michigan players said any of that, all right? Everything I've said about Coldridge Stroud for the last 6 months has come to be absolutely true. He's a system quarterback. He can't really throw under pressure. You hit him a couple times, ring his bell, and you look into his eyes, and he looks like he wants to be back in Southern California playing for San Diego State or something like that, not Ohio State, in 30-degree snow weather at Michigan Stadium. Completely rattled him, and that's why Michigan was there. Now, these Michigan won the game. Now, these flu rumors started a couple days. It was almost like the Ohio State football program knew they were going to lose, and they started putting whispers out there on Twitter and social media that, oh, hey, we've got the bunch of guys with the flu. CJ Stroud's got the flu. And, was it debunked? I saw Ohio State media guys. Here's a video of him jumping on the team bus with the flu. Are you kidding me? Guy has no respect for Ohio State coaches, staff, trying to infect them. But I put it out there. Take a look at this picture. I tweeted this out, so you see the bottom of the screen. This is on Friday the 26th, the day before the game. I heard these rumors, and so I was being a little cryptic about it. This is if you're in the shoe game, if you're a Jordan guy, this is the Jordan 12 bred, the ones that Jordan wore in with the 96, 97 finals, whichever year it was, where he claimed to get the flu, probably hungover. They call it the flu game shoe because he dropped like 40, and so I just put out that. Rumors true or not? And of course, the Ohio State fans, my mentions, like, no, he's going to be fine. Check out this video. He's with his team. He's with his family. He's with the bus. I could see the excuses coming from a mile away for Ohio State, and I called them out on it, right? Read between the lines, but I knew that the second they lost the game to Michigan, they would never give Michigan credit, and they just want to put excuse on there. Too cold, bad conditions. Play that game in a dome. We would have won without the bad conditions. No, you wouldn't have. No, you wouldn't have. It would probably been worse than a dome, right? Michigan had halfback passes from Donovan Edwards all day long. So I want you guys, though, to go down in the comments. Don't forget. Let's not take this for granted. Let's not wait another 10 years for this to happen. Don't let the pedal off the metal with your gloating and you're enjoying this. So just keep typing Bosa. Don't forget how good it felt to beat Ohio State again. It's only 10 days ago it happened. So keep it rolling. Make sure it's one off season that we won't forget. Type every video, every time somebody from Ohio State you see him on the internet, just type Bosa. They know what it means. Believe me. And if you guys are down to see an awesome live show, get your questions answered by me on air, Thursday, 4 p.m. At the end of the show, I'm going to do probably some recruiting talk. Maybe that's bad. Maybe I shouldn't talk about high school kids while drinking beer, Jack in the ear saying, James, you can't do that. At some point, I'll do a segment. Maybe I'll tell you this. I'll take your questions. We'll do a second audience Q&A at the end of the show, and I'll drink 6 beers in 15 minutes because I don't even know why did I say I was going to do that. I can't remember. It was because we got like 150 subscribers in the one video last week. That's what it was. All right. How about the turnaround in just career trajectory from Michigan's offensive coordinator, Josh Gattis? If you think about first half of 2019, everyone wanted him fired. Disaster of an offense. Turned it around a little bit towards the end. 2020, an abomination of an offense. But Jim Harbaugh kept it around, showed confidence. And this year, early on in the season, it was looking like, okay, it's back to a run-heavy game. Gattis isn't very creative. He's just doing what Harbaugh tells him. But the last 5, 6, 7 weeks, and really the last 4, have been incredible. He has turned it around. And I just want to show these stats here, which is remarkable. If you watched the first 8, 9 games of the season, almost every show or every post-game show, I talked about, either on this channel or sometimes on Twitter, how bad Michigan has been in the red zone with play calling, execution, etc. Last 4 games, which includes Ohio State, Iowa, Maryland, Penn State, 19 trips to the red zone, 16 touchdowns, 1 field goal, 1 turnover, and 1 kneel down, which was against Penn State. So the 18 trips that counted, 16 touchdowns for Michigan, 17 scoring opportunities. The contrast in those first 9 games to the last 4 are remarkable. And Michigan leads college football, all of college football, this season in plays over 50 yards. The last 4 weeks have been a real treat from an offensive perspective. Hasn't been an aerial attack, but nevertheless, they've been very creative. They certainly have run the ball as good or as better than ever under Jim Harbaugh. And now Josh Gattis is being rumored. He's on a little tour this week, right? He went and accepted the Broyles Award. He's doing some other coaching stuff, a little recruiting. Is he taking any interviews? People are talking out there, all right? We're going to see what happens. I doubt anything happens this week. Duke and Virginia have been rumored over the last 48, 72 hours, right? Doesn't sound like it's going to be Virginia. Virginia sounds like they found their man in Clemson offensive coordinator Tony Elliott. But keep an eye out for Duke. Right? Gas from the area, and there has been a lot of chatter that he's at least going to get an interview and is one of their top 2 or 3 candidates. I don't think he should take the job. You just saw Notre Dame's defensive coordinator get the head job at Notre Dame after 1 year of being a coordinator in a Power 5 role. Gas has been a coordinator in some title for 4 years, right? Alabama and then 3 at Michigan. I don't think he should take the Duke job. If anything, come back to Michigan, prove it wasn't a fluke this year, and get a big-time job, right? Get a top 20 job and not a bottom 20 of the Power 5 like Duke would be. But let's say this about Josh Gattis. I'm eating crow, all right? I am eating crow. I'm willing to admit that I was wrong in calling him for to be fired. Maybe we need to have a little more patience as sports fans, as commentators on the sport. It doesn't take away that he had the most disastrous start of a coordinator in Michigan football history. His choice of Joe Milton over Cade McNamara, looking back, was one of the worst position coach choices or position starting I think I've ever seen in my life. But maybe he didn't make those decisions. I'm not sure. I'll eat the crow. I'll give Gas a pass. Congrats to him on winning the Broyles Award. But with these opportunities coming out here, I ask you guys this question. Get down in the comments. Type Y for yes or type N for no. I want to know if you guys think Josh Gattis will return in 2022. I think certainly at this point, Jim Harbaugh would have to welcome him back, although there were some rumors that, they both mutually said, hey, maybe it's not time for you to go find a head coaching job. But it might be bigger fish to fry for him, maybe getting a Power 5 head coaching job. Y or N? Let me know what you guys thinking about Gattis down in the comments. Got some recruiting talk about. Courtney Morgan, who's been with Michigan for 8.5, 9 months after Matt Dudek left. He came over, former Michigan football player, came out from California, where he worked for a number of schools and even some jobs outside of football over the last 15 years. He's left. He's already gone after 8 months on the job. He is taking the job, same role, Director of Player Personnel with Washington, some ties to the new head coach from when they worked together at Fresno State. But now there is some buzz out there that a former Michigan man, a very young one, frankly, he's got to be 27 or so, graduated college in 2015. I'll talk about that in a second. Albert Karshnia, Central Michigan, Director of Player Personnel for the last three years, or actually 4 years, since 2017. Got the job when he was only 3 or so years out of college. Went with Jim McElwain from Michigan to Central Michigan, ran recruiting from there. On Morgan, the word out there in the streets is that it was a mutual parting between him and Harbaugh. Who knows? We'll see. I think it'd be tough to say that Courtney Morgan was leveling up with getting the same job at Washington. It seems like at best a lateral move and maybe realistically a small step down. There's some thoughts that maybe he was recruiting certain areas of the country or players that didn't vie with what Harbaugh wanted to run, and he wanted to recruit those guys, and they said, hey, I'm just going to go back to the West Coast and take the job there. Best of luck to him. But now on to Albert Karshnia, Central Michigan. Take a look at his career history. Not much of a resume, right? Graduated college 6 years ago, 2015 from Michigan. Recruiting coordinator, had 4 different roles, but basically recruiting coordination, ops, behind the scenes, entry-level stuff, and worked his way up to when Jim McElwain took that head coaching job at Central Michigan, brought him over to lead recruiting for the Chippewas. So keep an eye out for this one. Keep an eye out for that name. There also some talk that he won't maybe be the director of player personnel, that Michigan will now structure the recruiting department and restructure it again with him and another person to be named later, kind of co-running different areas of Michigan recruiting efforts. Speaking of recruiting, 3 commitments in the last few days, and one of them is really interesting because he was on no one's radar when it comes to Michigan football, and that's Andrew Gentry. It's not a typo right there beneath his name. It says 2020 4-star. He was the number 88 player in the country out of the state of Colorado in 2020. Mormon, when a 2-year Mormon mission, was committed to Virginia out of high school because of their coach, Bronco Mendenhall, having a relationship with him when he was at BYU. But Mendenhall just got let go from his job, fired, quit, whatever. He's not there. So he started questioning his commitment after he's returning from his 2-year mission. His parents apparently reached out to Jim Harbaugh. Harbaugh said, we'd love to have him. His first call after he's done with his mission kind of thing, he got 1 call per week to his parents. They said, hey, you want to go to Michigan? Said yes, and that was all that she wrote. Also out of California, Zeke Berry, a top 250 4-star safety, and then out of Raylene Wilson, 2023 4-star linebacker, 3-star linebacker by one service, 4-star in the consensus, committed to Michigan today over Georgia. All right, so signing day, folks, is a week from now. It's next week on the 15th. So I think We're probably going to do another live show for Michigan Football Report that day, bring you all the recruits, take your questions on recruiting, looking at this signing period, if there's any announcements, et cetera, and go from there. So keep it with us. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And don't forget, tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern, set an alarm. Tell your phone right now. Put on notifications on YouTube, whatever. Don't miss us. We're going to do a bunch of Michigan football news, rumors, recruiting, and then I'll take your questions towards the end of the show while I'm chugging 6 beers in 15 minutes. Until then, go Blue.